Today our topic is what is weathering and erosion. In this topic today lecture we will study the basics of geology. These are the basics of geology. In this channel all topics are about the basics of geology. What is weathering and erosion? First we will study what is weathering. Weathering the breakdown of the material of earth crust into smaller pieces. It means that if a rock or other material which break down into small pieces, or in other words we can call them loose materials, the process is called weathering. There are two types of weathering: physical weathering and chemical weathering. First we will study physical weathering, process by which rocks are broken down into smaller pieces by external condition. Note that these there we use word external conditions. It means a rock when a rock breaks by external conditions, this type of weathering will be called physical weathering. Type of physical weathering. The first type which we will study is thrust heaving and thrust wedging. What is thrust wedging? Thrust wedging is the form of physical weathering that involves the repeated pressing and thawing of water in areas with extremely cold weather. Then, when water freezes, it expands and cracks the rock. In this type of weathering, you see the definition that repeated freezing and thawing. In polar areas, there are a lot of ice and water. When water comes in the cracks, as you can see in the picture, and then water converted into ice due to the increasing presence of increasing coldness in the weather, the ice expands the rocks and break it into small pieces. You can see in the two picture, and I hope that you got the idea about what is thrust wedging. Thrust heaving is same like the thrust wedging, but thrust heaving occurs in the soils. Thrust heaving is an upward swelling of soil during freezing conditions caused by an increasing presence of ice as it grows toward the surface upwards from the depth in the soil where freezing temperature have penetrated into the soil. The good example of thrust heaving is the breaking down of roads. When the funny goes in the holes of road, and when weather becomes cold, the ice break the road upward, yani mitti comes upward the road. The second one is plant roots. Plant roots. Plant roots work their way into the rock crevices called joints. Plant roots जो है plant root works their way in the rock crevices called joint. As they grow, roots create pressure on the sides of the crack, enlarging it until it breaks down apart. I will show you the picture and you will get the very good idea about what is plant roots. This is the type of plant weathering. When plants are forcing the pores growing in the crevices of rocks and enlarging it until it breaks down into two pieces. The third one is friction and repeated impact. Rocks are also broken up by friction and repeated impact with other rock fragments during transportation. I hope you will got a good idea to looking the picture. This is the picture of friction and repeated impact. You know that the when water comes from the head, they bring some materials uh, in it and breaking it in small pieces. Burrowing animals can break up rocks underground to bring it to the surface where it exposed to other weathering forces, as you can see in the picture. The picture in geology is very important because the idea which we get from the picture we can't get it by the theory. So I add one picture of each process. Temperature changing. Temperature changing can also contribute to mechanical weathering in a process called thermal stress. Changes in temperature cause rock to expand with heat and contract with cold. This is the picture of temperature changes. And tomorrow in next class we will study what is chemical weathering. Today is my first day. I made this video for some juniors which are requesting to tell us about the basics. So this is my first video. I hope you will like.